Hey everyone, welcome back to Pine Hollow Auto Diagnostics. We're at a local shop looking at another Chevy truck, a 2000 Chevy 1500 four-wheel drive V8 5.3, almost 200,000 miles. The customer complaint is a lot of electrical stuff doesn't work, like a lot. So let's get in the truck, see what works, see what doesn't work, and take it from there. Alright, let's hop in. Door dinger works. Okay. So, interesting. On the first key notch, we see the mileage, 234,998. And then, when you turn the key on, that disappears. The gauges do something. So let's fire it up. Okay, oil pressure is fine, voltmeter is reading something, fuel's reading something, RPMs are good, but the odometer is out. Battery light's on. Four-wheel drive, all the lights are on. Weird. The lights work, wipers work, horn works, windows work, blower. Blower kicked in. Change engine oil. No more battery light. Interesting. And look, four-wheel drive's back to normal. Everything came back to life all at once. When the guys first started it up, the blower wasn't working. The cluster wasn't working, the battery light was on, and all these lights were on. And also the cruise control apparently didn't work. But I'm sure it'll work now. So, what's the strategy here? I'm not even going to scan it for codes. We're looking for a common, either losing a common power or a common ground. This screams to me we're losing a common ground. Okay, let's look at a ground distribution diagram and see if, you know, the cluster and the blower and the four-wheel drive system is all tied together. Place your bets now. What are we going to find? Okay, so doing some research and trying to figure out how all these systems are tied together. So right here, first we have a picture of the blower motor. It's the manual type. It's just the resistor pack. So blower motor switch, power comes from this heater AC fuse, hot and run. Blower motor, ground is at G203. Okay. Then the transfer case, this four-wheel drive fuse and ignition 1 fuse. And the module right here, automatic transfer case control module, is fed by this four-wheel drive fuse. And the ground is at G200. So I'm looking for common grounds. G203, G200, instrument cluster. Let's see here. So there's a hot and run bulb test or start, ignition 0 fuse, hot and run or start, ignition 1 fuse, and hot and run cruise fuse. And remember, the instrument cluster, an accessory or bulb, it wasn't bulb test. I mean, I don't know what they call bulb test or accessory. So, oh, accessory is backwards. So that was bulb test. First click, second click is run, third click is obviously start. So I'm trying to circle the components that are acting up. Cruise control, instrument cluster, there's instrument cluster again. Then automatic transfer case and blower motor switch, that's the heater AC fuse. So all these components, they don't share the same ground, but they do share this power leg in the fuse box. Interesting. So this goes to G, stuff doesn't work on this tree, stuff doesn't work here. The wipers are fine. So we need to get on one of these fuses, put a test light on there, and try to get this truck to act up again and see if we lose power on, for example, heater AC fuse or the four-wheel drive fuse. So this is the fuse block on lower left side of dash. So let's go there, get a test light, pop one of these fuses out and figure out which side is hot, put in a test light and monitor the test light. I want to get this truck to act up again, see if we lose power on that fuse box. Well, I'm a little disappointed. The truck, everything's working perfectly. I took it for a test drive, cruise control works, four-wheel drive works, HVAC works, cluster is perfect, bright, temp gauge is working, all the gauges are working, no warning lights. So all these problems are tied together. We're going to have to come back to this truck. Maybe on a cold morning, it's more likely to act up, so we'll just turn the key on, we won't run anything, we won't start it. Nothing else we can do. But this visit was not a waste of time, even though we're going to have to do a follow-up visit. We got to see firsthand exactly what the symptoms are, what works and what doesn't work, and it is all tied together. So that's great information, and we'll be back on the Chevy. Well, we're back in the 2000 Chevy Silverado with the Ghost that disappeared, and it was gone for an entire month. I can't believe it, but apparently it acted up again. I told the shop here, don't touch it until I get here. So hopefully it'll stay broken while we diagnose this thing. So remember, the complaints were the gauges were going crazy, four-wheel drive buttons were messed up, cruise control didn't work, blower didn't work, whole bunch of stuff. So before I even touch the key, what are we going to check first? Well, let's go for the blower motor. This has the manual blower controls, and if the blower doesn't work, then this heater AC fuse, hot and run 25 amp, is probably not hot. That's the first thing I want to check. What else is on this heater AC fuse tree? The four-wheel drive fuse, ignition 3 fuse, brake fuse, and if we go to the previous diagram, it comes from, well, where's the ignition switch here? So the run tree, right here, cruise, wiper. Let's turn the key on.
Triangle's the call. Triangle heating.
So blower, no blower in the on position. Test light, battery ground. Okay, so our test light works. HVAC 1 fuse, heater AC fuse is this 25 amp. Nothing on there. Nothing on there. Let's check the four-wheel drive fuse, this 15 amp. Nothing on there. Nothing on there. Okay, so we're missing feed to these fuses. What else was on there? Let's see if the wiper, maybe we can go through all. See, the wiper fuse, 25 amp, that's fine. Let's check the cruise. Nothing on the cruise fuse, nothing on the HVAC 1 fuse. So I think this whole row, this is ignition 3 fuse is dead. Ignition 0. Ignition 0 is okay. So this whole row is dead, and then this is our turn signal fuse is good. Four-wheel drive, not good. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Brake fuse 6. 6 fuses. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, we're dead in the water there. Let's take a look at the power distribution diagram one more time. Okay, so on this little schematic, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 fuses that are dead. So that would be the brake, ignition 3, HVAC, four-wheel drive, heater, and back here, the cruise. So everything from here, that way, is dead. What about the wiper fuse, WS wiper? That's good. 25 amp. That's supposed to be on the same tree. This accessory fuse 10 amp, that would be down here. Let's check that one. And then what else? Rear wiper, we don't know. Retained accessory power diagram 404, so that goes to K. Retained accessory power relay. Yeah, I think that's fine. So we're really close. Let me just make sure this fuse is hot. So it's going to be a problem in the fuse box, looks like, if we're getting power to this accessory fuse and run, but not everything else. That's pretty crazy. Okay, so I have the key in just the first position, not run. So these two fuses right here should not be hot. When I turn the key to run, the wiper is on. The SEO accessory fuse is on. SEO ignition is on. These are all dead. Those 6. It's going to be a problem in this fuse box, 100% guaranteed. Well, I got the fuse box out, but unfortunately it seems to be very well sealed in terms of you can't get this plastic off. It's all integrated because this nut is like molded to the plastic, so you can kind of start taking it off, but not quite. So we know these 6 fuses are dead in the water, and the other ones are okay. So there must be a bad internal contact in there. So my question is, obviously you can replace the fuse box, yes. Can we run a little bypass? So for example, from one of the fuses that does work, can we jump to one of the fuses that doesn't work? So from like the wiper over to the 4-wheel drive or something like that. Like the rear wiper, I don't think, I mean, this thing doesn't have a rear wiper, so why is that even in there? But from here to here, can we just make a jumper and then kind of energize that section of the fuse box? We can try. There's nothing to lose. It needs a new fuse box anyway, so let me come up with something here. Well, after messing with the fuse box, everything is back in action. I think it says service 4-wheel drive, just because the 4-wheel drive fuse is out. But let's see. So that pin right there of the rear wiper fuse is hot when the ignition is on. Okay. And now that pin is hot too. So we need to jump this pin to this pin and then put all the fuses back in. So right now everything's back in action here. Let me try to rig up a little jumper. Alright, using the trusty TS100 and a little piece of wire, here is our fuse to fuse jumper. So let me resolder that a little bit. See, it's sticking out. So it needs to be flush so the fuse can actually fit into the box. But that's the idea. It's going to take power from the good wiper fuse and feed it to the questionable other tree of fuses. Alright, moment of truth. Let's make sure. Yep, blower works. Let's go through all the fuses, check both sides. Yes, yes, yes. Yes, 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 yes. Good, good, good. That's fine. Wipers are good. 4-wheel drive weren't too high. So I'll guarantee this repair for a year, but it needs a fuse box eventually. This little jumper should keep it going. It's an old truck, 230,000 miles. Rock solid. So glad we caught that one in the act. It took a month and 2 trips to the shop to catch it. But yeah, that's it. So thanks all for watching. We'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.